Hi, I'm Chris Wardlaw for CarGurus, and this is the 2016 BMW 3 Series, the best known and the best selling of the company's ultimate driving machines. Now here's a fun fact. 25% of all BMWs sold all around the world carry a 3 Series designation. Now that makes this car hugely important. If the 3 Series doesn't exemplify BMW's standards for design, engineering, technological sophistication, and driving dynamics, well then, BMW risks everything. Now this car is getting old. It arrived for 2012 and it received a midlife update this year for 2016. Now mechanically, BMW tweaks just about everything, while at the same time giving the car technology updates and some minor styling changes. A new plug-in hybrid model also debuts. Now what I'm driving is the new 340i model. It's the one with the new turbocharged 6-cylinder engine. It's got a manual gearbox, it's got a track handling package, it's got a whole bunch of other stuff that all pushes the price to nearly $62,000. And it's time we hit the road to talk about how terrific it is. Let's go. The 3 Series lineup is really broad. It ranges from the entry-level 320i to the pavement-pounding M3. You can get a sedan, you can get a station wagon, and you can even get a 5-door hatchback that's called a Gran Turismo. Now the coupes and convertibles are still available, but now they're called the 4 Series, and they share plenty of their underlying platform mechanicals and even styling with the 3 Series lineup. For today's review, we're focused solely on the 340i sedan, which is a new model designation for 2016 because it has a new turbocharged 6-cylinder engine. The engine's making 320 horsepower between 5,500 RPM and 6,500 RPM, and 332 pound-feet of torque between 1,320 RPM and 5,000 RPM. Now, if all those numbers sound like a bunch of gobbledygook to you, I'll translate it for you, okay? It means that the engine is basically making its peak torque or its peak horsepower pretty much across the entire rev range, and that translates to a massively addictive rush of power, as evidenced by my complete and utter failure to even come close to matching the EPA's city fuel economy rating, let alone the number for combined driving. Now, is this car fast? Yeah, absolutely. BMW says the 340i gets to 60 miles an hour in 4.8 seconds, and if you equip it with all-wheel drive, it'll hit 60 in 4.6 seconds. And those figures are for the standard 8-speed automatic. If you get the stick, like my car's got, it actually turns the car into the slowest version of the 340i. My rear drive 340i with the 6-speed manual gearbox is supposed to get to 60 in about 4.9 seconds. Now for 2016, BMW has improved the 3 Series transmissions, it's redesigned the electric steering, and it's upgraded the suspension. You see, when this current generation of the 3 Series first arrived for 2012, BMW purists were complaining that the car felt like it was getting too soft and it was too disconnected, and they kind of decided that maybe BMW was losing its way and forgetting how exactly to engineer an ultimate driving machine. Now, I'm not a 3 Series purist. I'm not even a 3 Series expert. But yeah, during previous drives of a 2012 and a 2014 model, I did find that the driving dynamics did not necessarily stand head and shoulders above the previous generation 3 Series, let alone some competitors that were fast decoding BMW's secret sauce. Now, I'm happy to report that the changes for 2016 appear to be putting BMW on the path to redemption. Granted, my test car is clearly optioned for the driving enthusiast. It has a manual gearbox with a super cool downshift rev matching feature. It has an optional M Sport package, which includes sport seats and an adaptive M-tuned suspension. It's also got the new for 2016 track handling package, which installs performance brakes and variable sport steering. It's also got upgraded 19-inch wheels and summer performance tires. So basically, this particular 3 Series that I'm driving today is about as close as it gets to buying an M3 without actually buying an M3. And wow, do I love it. In addition to what feels like limitless acceleration capability, and in addition to its silky gearbox and effortless clutch, this 340i demonstrates a clear improvement in terms of its steering. Now, is it back to its telepathically accurate self from before BMW switched to an electric system? No, not quite, but it's really damn close. And that means BMW has resolved what was arguably the greatest sin committed by this generation of the car. This car never puts a tire tread wrong, and the handling, it is almost pornographic. I mean, from the smooth feel of this leather as the driver caresses the steering wheel, to the firm yet gentle way that the adaptive suspension damps wheel motions and quells and controls body roll, to how fluidly the shifter just glides between the gears, the 340i is an utterly sensual delight to drive. There's an undeniable sense of intimacy here with both the car and the road upon which it travels, and it is evident in mall parking lots and twisty canyon roads alike. So does the updated 2016 3 Series deserve its reputation as the ultimate driving machine? Yeah, I'd say so. What a 3 Series is not, however, is the ultimate luxury machine. I mean, if you take a look around my test car, you're not going to really find any of the traditional trappings of luxury. There's nothing plush about this car. There's nothing fancy about it. The black Dakota leather is tautly stretched over the seats, and it feels thick and durable. It's not plush and pleated or quilted. The dashboard and the rest of the cabin looks and feels purposeful, more like a tool than a retreat. And it's decorated with nothing more than genuine aluminum trim. Of course, you do have options in terms of leather colors and trim finishes, so you can dress up a 3 Series to some degree, but none of them are luxurious in the traditional sense. What a 3 Series is, however, is comfortable. The driving position is perfection, and BMW takes care to design the door panels and the center console in a way that they're not going to hurt your knees or your legs when you're bracing legs against them in fast corners and curves. All that's really missing here is a seat ventilation system. It's not even offered as an option on this car. The rear seat is snug, and the hard front seat back covers don't really help with regard to comfort, but there's enough room back there for a couple of adults, and the rear cushion does sit up high and provide decent thigh support. One thing you're going to want to take care to note if you're a parent, though, is that when you install a forward-facing child safety seat in this car, my kindergartner had a really hard time latching her own seatbelt buckle, so just keep that in mind. You're going to have to help them snap it into place every single time. Now, around back, BMW supplies a 12 cubic foot trunk area, and it is usefully shaped like a cube and includes netting that appears to be specifically designed to prevent items from being flung about, just in case you can't help yourself when you're heading home from the store. Now, as far as the controls and the car's technology are concerned, BMW's iDrive system is better than ever, but it still remains more of a distraction than is necessary. Now, in my opinion, nothing that the driver uses on a regular basis should be embedded in the screen or the controls on the center console. And while BMW does supply a row of shortcut buttons that you can program right here on the dashboard, it still is a two-step process just to tune up or down a couple of stations on the radio. I'd rather have a tuning knob just like I have a volume knob. Now, as far as the driver assistance technologies are concerned, the ones that are provided in the 3 Series are refined in terms of operation, and they work in a subtle yet effective fashion. It's like they're nudging you and saying, hey, you might want to pay attention here, instead of shrieking into your face, oh my gosh, we're gonna die! Now, if there's room for improvement on the safety front, it's related to the car's marginal crash test result in the small overlap frontal impact test that's conducted by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Now, while that kind of a rating is expected of an older design, remember this car came out for 2012, I still feel like BMW should have done something to structurally stiffen the car for the 2016 refresh, just to try and enhance that particular aspect of the car's performance. Now, over the course of my 20-year career, I've enjoyed the great pleasure of driving a number of 3 Series models. All of them, to one degree or another, represented the benchmark against which all sports sedans are measured. BMW, more than any other car company, understands both the importance of engineering capable vehicles and the enjoyment that is derived from driving them. And what I consistently find with BMW products is that they foster a close relationship between the car, the driver, and the environment. Distraction is minimized. Communication is maximized. It's just you, the BMW, and the road. Now, to an enthusiast driver, this is the holy grail. To your average luxury car buyer, all that really matters is that BMW badge and what it conveys. Now, if BMW weren't sharply focused on building ultimate driving machines, and so clearly successful in its quest to do so, that blue and white badge probably wouldn't carry nearly as much credibility as it does. Be sure to check out my full review of the 3 Series on CarGurus.com, and if you found this review helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us at CarGurus, thank you for watching.